Hawkins. We're still investigating properties of matter. Today we're going to be investigating density, and that is if an item will sink or float. So we'll test each of these items for their density. If items are more dense, they will sink. If they are less dense, they tend to float. And maybe not float completely, but not sink as quickly or maybe as deeply. Okay, so less dense items float, more dense items should sink. The other property we're going to be testing today is magnetism. So I have a magnet here. Okay, some items are magnetic, and then the ones that are not we refer to as non-magnetic. You will also be filling out a notes template there on Seesaw and in your science notebook. So it'll look something like this, just like the one we did yesterday, except it's got the properties of density and magnetism instead of mass, instead of matter, and whether or not something is an insulator or conductor. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with the penny, and all I'm going to do is first test the density of the penny. What do you think? Remember, like you learned in the video yesterday, what do scientists do before they actually start the test? Do they just jump right in? Okay, we've got to predict. So what's your prediction? Do you think the penny will sink? Will it be more dense than the water? Or do you think it will be less dense than the water and float? Got your prediction? Let's give it a try. Can you see that? What did it do? See it there on the bottom. Let's go ahead and test the binder clip. I think you can see that right there. It's also on the bottom. Let's put in the cork, and let's put in the styrofoam cup. You can clearly see where the styrofoam cup is, and you may not can see the cork. Let me bring it to the camera without spilling the water. There's the cork. You can see it right there. Those are the only two items on top. So then we would say, you can see the penny and the binder clip down there on the bottom. Remember, the lesser the density, the more ability for it to float. Okay? So now I want you to pause the video and go fill out your template for density for those 4 items. Okay, now we will be looking at the property of magnetism. Okay, so let's make our prediction. What do you think about the penny? Do you think the penny is magnetic or non-magnetic? Make your prediction. If it were magnetic, it would be attracted to this magnet and it would stick to it. That's not happening, is it? So we refer to that as being non-magnetic. Okay? What do you think about the binder clip? Can you make your prediction about the binder clip? Ah, looky there. It was a pretty strong attraction, wasn't it? Interesting. Anybody have a prediction about the piece of cork? Does that seem to be magnetic to you? Didn't do much, did it? And the styrofoam? There's no attraction there. Now, I'd like for you to go fill out your template on the magnetism of each of those 4 items, the penny, the binder clip, the cork, and the styrofoam cup. And I'll give you something to think about as well. And I'd like for you to go ahead and add a text box and answer this question. What did you notice about the items that are magnetic and the ones that are not magnetic? Did you notice a difference? What about for density? Did you notice a difference in the items that did sink to the bottom as opposed to the ones that floated on top? I would like for you to think about that and go ahead and write a statement in a text box on the notes page and tell your thoughts. What is the difference in the items that were magnetic and were not? The items that did sink or the items that floated? Have fun.